Good morning. Welcome to Joy in the Morning. I hope you're doing well today. I hope God has been good to you since we last spoke. Today I'm going to share some of Steve and I's valleys and mountaintop experiences. Sort of a testimony type thing. But the first thing that I wanted to say was what you see here this morning in the person that I am, what you see is nothing but a shell. I'm nothing special. I'm just a country girl who likes to drive tractors, who has an over-the-top passion for hunting, and a pretty good twist of redneck in her. I'm nothing special. But Jesus Christ went to the cross and died for me. And he lives in here. And that, my friends, makes me special. And it makes each and every one of you special. Don't ever forget that. And don't ever sell yourself short. Don't let this world ever convince you that you're not good enough. Because you are. Now, when I was a young girl at home, my mom and dad both worked away from home, and my dad was a truck driver and still is today. And I didn't get to see him much. I have two younger brothers. We never wanted for anything. There was never anything that we needed that my mom and dad didn't provide us. But at a young age, I figured out that my dad took his vacation in hunting season and spent time up north with friends and family hunting. And I thought, well, maybe I should take up hunting so I could spend some time with my dad. That's how my over-the-top passion for hunting started. My dad provided me everything that I needed to go out and be successful that first hunt. But I played basketball, and lo and behold, before hunting season came, I hurt my knee and ended up on crutches and in one of those big, huge immobilizers like they had way back when. And my heart sunk pretty low because I thought, well, there goes my opportunity to spend time with my dad. So that was a bit of a valley for me at that age. Now, I have been known to be pretty persistent, and I convinced my dad that if he just carried my gun and a stool, I would be able to get wherever he wanted me to go on crutches in my immobilizer, and we could go hunting. So my dad made that happen. And I harvested my first animal. And that's how this all began. When thinking about all this, I thought how wonderful it is that we don't have to figure out how to spend time with our Heavenly Father. He's right there. He's right there with his hand reached out, his arms outstretched, just wanting us to come to him. For us to take time to spend time with him. Well, I came out of the valley of being hurt and had the mountaintop experience of being successful in the harvest. So we're going to fast forward to when Steve and I got together and a few of the experiences that we've had. And I owe it to Steve for everything that I've grown to be as a hunter, beyond the fact that my father was willing to take the time and get me involved. Steve's made me the hunter that I am today, and the person that I am today. I owe him a lot. We were blessed to travel west several times and see some amazing country, make some lifetime friends. And we hunted with our rifles, and somewhere along the line, this girl decided that she wanted to archery hunt. Not with a compound, or not with a crossbow, with a compound, the one that you pull the string back and the arrow flies, and let's challenge ourselves. So that's what we did. Steve has always been of the mind that he wasn't really for archery hunting. He's never seen a large Indian, meaning that the success rate probably isn't so very good. But he went along with me, and he started shooting a crossbow, and I started shooting a compound, and we made our way out west to fulfill a dream of mine, and that is chasing elk through the mountains of Wyoming. We had a few unsuccessful trips, but the first trip we took and we were able to hear that elk bugle, I was hooked. We went on a backcountry hunt, which was horseback. And as we were going into camp, Steve had a very unfortunate accident. His horse tripped and he went out over the horse's head. And ended up with a pretty severe concussion and some broken ribs. But he refused to be medevaced out, because if he would have been, then my hunt would have been over, and he wasn't going to have any of that. So that's just the kind of guy he is. That was a valley for a bit of a time. He would stay in camp and hunt from camp on foot, and I would go on horseback with our guide, and the end result you will see at the end of this video. But I was successful, and God blessed me with a harvest. A beautiful 6x6 elk that came up the mountainside, bugling the whole way. And I wanted that experience for Steve, because it's unexplainable. That was my mountaintop experience for that adventure. Now we're going to fast forward 2 years, and on December 29th that year, 2016, we were diagnosed with breast cancer. And I say we, because no one that ever goes through a serious illness or any type of crisis who is married ever goes through it alone. we were sitting in the doctor's office, and I just knew what he was going to say. And when he told us that we had cancer, I looked at him and said, well, we have a deposit on an archery elk hunt for September. Can you make that happen? Can you have me fixed up? I'll never forget the look on Steve's face. He thought I had lost the last bit of sanity that I had. But that's what I grabbed onto. It was hard. But by the grace of God, we made it through together. And we're better for it today. And we made it elk hunting that fall in September. And the mountaintop experience of all of that was, first of all, we made it. We got through everything that we needed to. The chemo that depletes you to nothing but a shell. Lost my hair. Lost 40 pounds. Struggled to walk from the room to the kitchen. But we're here today. The oncologist said we're going to kill that cancer. And any one of you that has been through it knows that they all but kill you too. But we have an awesome God. Well, the mountaintop experience was getting there. We made the trip. I was able to walk the mountains. Slower, but was able to walk them. But I was able to watch Steve harvest his first beautiful 6x6 elk with his crossbow. And watched him experience the emotions of all the practice and all of the commitment that it takes to be able to do something like that. When he tried to call his father and express to him what he just did, he wasn't able to talk. That was a mountaintop experience. So, no matter what valley you go through, there's always a mountaintop experience right there waiting for you. It may take some work. It may take some effort. But remember this too. If Jesus lives in here, you're so much more than a shell of a person. You're very, very special. Genesis 27, verses 2-4. Isaac said, I am now an old man and don't know the day of my death. Now then, get your equipment, your quiver and bow, and go out to the open country to hunt some wild game for me. Prepare me the kind of tasty food I like and bring it to me to eat. so that I may give you my blessing before I die. May Jesus live within you all, because you are special.